Hey, how's it going guys? Neve here, and today's video we're going to talk about how to guarantee your product actually sells. I'm going to talk to you guys about a complete guide and also a checklist that you can follow towards the end with all the rules you got to make sure your product passes. So we'll get right into all of that. In today's video, obviously, like you see, we're not having a face camera because during quarantine I decided to shave my head. And we'll see. Depends on how many likes this video gets. Maybe the next one will have a face camera. So before we do get started, a few housekeeping rules about this video and notes that you should make sure to know. The first thing is the stuff in this video is incredibly powerful, right? Even better than most of the $1,000 courses out there. So watching through this video is going to be a really good use of your time. The second is this is a longer video. And if you want to learn something though, you gotta watch until the end because there are 7 total rules that you need to follow and 7 total barriers that you need to know about. And if you just watch the first half, it's not gonna be much value at all. 3, there's nothing actually guaranteed, right? And if you want anything from life, you have to go out and get it. So don't just think that you can watch this video and then just make a ton of money. It's not gonna happen. So with that out of the way, let's dive in, right? There are 7 rules you must follow before deciding on a product, and we're gonna start with the basics and move up in complexity. So towards the 5, 6, 7, those rules are going to be incredibly powerful, and they're going to build on themselves. So make sure to watch through all of them. These rules are like a checklist, and the product must pass all the barriers to be considered a viable product. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into it. When doing product research, your key metric is obviously always revenue. So you guys all know this, but what I like to do is I like to keep my products between the $7,500 and $15,000 per month revenue range. I know a lot of people who are first starting off, they like to go into those big home run, big hitting products and look for products that are making $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month. But the truth is, with those products come a lot of problems. Obviously, really, really high PPC costs, super competitive. And you just have a really, really big target on your back when you're one of those big sellers. And that's really not the best and safest way to run a business. So I like to look for products between $7,500 and $15,000 per month range. And the way we determine, the first rule is if 2 out of the top 4 competitors in the market are between that range. That would, be the first rule and a first sign that the market, might be pretty good. But how do we determine a top competitor, and what does a top competitor actually mean? So let me break that down. So there's 3 types of competitors in any market, right? Every market on Amazon follows the same rule. The first one is a direct competitor, and this is someone selling the exact same product as you or an incredibly similar product to you. And that's always going to happen, especially if you're private labeling. You're always going to have those direct competitors. 2 is an indirect competitor, and it's someone selling a very similar product to you, and we'll talk about what that is too. And then number 3 is a far out competitor, and this is someone selling in the same keyword as you, but doesn't necessarily have the exact same product as you. And so that's that's another type of competitor that can siphon your sales. So let's talk about it. So there's keyword spatula. So when you type in spatula, and you guys can test this out too, you're gonna see there's a bunch of different types of spatulas that show up on Amazon. There's the metal spatula, there's the plastic spatula, and there's a whole bunch of others. Now these 2 I would consider a indirect competitor. The reason for that is because one of them is metal and one of them is plastic. And so people who are searching up, keywords, they might be going out there with a specific, spatula in mind. They might want a metal spatula or they might want a plastic spatula. They're in their own separate classes. So you cannot consider these direct competitors. Here's another example, right? When you type in the keyword plastic spatula, you can get this one or this one. Now, again, these are indirect competitors. They're not the exact same product. I would only consider an exact same product with 2 plastic spatulas or 2 metal spatulas. And on the bottom right, you can see there's metal spatula and metal spatula. They both show up when you type that in. But again, very different products, right? One of them is for cooking, and one of them is for like burgers or something, right? So they're not direct competitors, and you can't really look at them as direct competitors. So when you are looking to market, these you can almost neglect them from your research and from what you're looking at because they're not the same. So how do you determine a direct versus indirect versus a far off competitor? So here are a few key things that you definitely want to look for, right? Something that can differentiate is a material. So if you have, glass, wood, plastic, whatever else, those would be automatically considered an indirect competitor. If you're selling wood and they're selling plastic, those are 2 different types of products and you cannot compare those 2. Color, black versus red, again, separate. Shape, square, round. Size, for example, if you're selling like pillows, right, you can have, small pillows, bigger pillows, those again are indirect competitors. You cannot compare those to your product because they're not the exact same. Quantity as well. For example, if you're selling a pack of 6 versus a pack of 12 or a pack of 24, right? You want to be looking at anybody who's selling pack of 6 and how much those products are making, and they need to be making between $7,000 and $15,000 per month in revenue, right? So you can't compare a product that's 24 pack, and if they're making that range, that doesn't really mean that you're going to make that range if you come in with a 12 pack. It's very different types of things, and so that's how you really find and differentiate between the competitors. So with rule number 1, you're only looking to compare direct competitors. Okay, so that's how you determine that. So answer: compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. All right. Hopefully that actually help you guys out and just clarify. I know a lot of people have problems understanding that, and so hopefully that made sense to you. Rule number 2. Okay, reviews must be less than 1,000 for 3 out of the top 4 competitors. And the reason we say this is obviously because it's a very simple rule. Amazon is a social proof platform, so we won't waste much time with this one just because, you guys know this already. But in a market, make sure that the direct competitors, right, 3 out of the 4 of them have less than 1,000 reviews. If they have more, it just becomes a much more difficult, niche to make money in. So that's rule number 2 to check for the viability of the product. Rule number 3, your product's main keyword should not have a spike of more than 30 points past the year's average on Google Trends in the past 12 months. I know that might be a mouthful there, but basically a lot of you guys probably know that you need to look at Google Trends and places like that to really make sure that your product isn't a fad or seasonal or something that will be here today and gone tomorrow, right? So, but many of you guys don't know any rules to follow when going on Google Trends and understanding the actual graph itself. So that's what I'm going to go into here. This is something that has really helped me over the years to not invest into products that are unknowingly trendy, right? So let's dive in. So boxing gloves here. As you can see, boxing gloves fairly steady throughout the whole year, but there are some peaks. And so to understand if this is seasonal or not or trendy or not, we need to kind of analyze it. So let's do that. So this is the line of average here, and you can see it's probably around 75, maybe right under 75. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just showing you guys an example. And you can see here this spike is less than 30 points, and then this spike is also less than 30 points. So this would be considered something that would be an okay product to go into, because even the spikes are not above 30 points on this interest over time graph with Google Trends. You also have to remember that whatever market you're selling in, you better put the right market in there and also pick the past 12 months. So in the United States, obviously if you're selling on Amazon.com, this is where you want to check. If you're selling on Amazon Italy, do not put in the United States. Completely different search results, right? So make sure you have that correct. Now let me show you an example of a product that actually is unknowingly seasonal and trendy. So as you can see on the top right, these are called Jello shots. And I've seen these products around and they make a lot of money, but they only make a lot of money during certain times of the year, usually in October. I don't know why, it's Halloween parties or something like that. So let me draw a line of average here, right? So you can see it's probably somewhere around there. Again, it does not have to be perfect, but you can see that there's one spike that's greater than 30 points. If that's the case, if there's a spike at any point that's greater than 30 points, this is probably a product that you should stay away from because it is seasonal or trendy. All right, that's another thing to note. Again, make sure it's in the United States or wherever you're searching. So that is the rule that you want to follow: 30 points in the past 12 months. All right. Now, before we go on, right, if you've learned anything so far or gotten even a tiny bit of value, right, leave a like down below because it really helps the channel grow, which allows us to build a bigger community of like-minded people, and I would be super, super grateful for the YouTube algorithm. So just drop a like. It doesn't take much time, and it shows me that, you guys enjoy these videos, and I should make more of them like this. So I really do appreciate that. So let's move on. Rule number 4 of 7, okay? Your product's profit margin should be no less than 25%, and your product's ROI should be no more or no less than 125%. 125%. So again, you guys might know this, but these are rules to follow, and in conjunction, they become very powerful. So you want to get the Helium 10 profitability calculator, and you'll be able to see once you input all the data, you can see, okay, does this pass or does this not pass? Super simple rule. We won't spend too much time on this, but again, very, very important because you need to have those rules to make sure that's good. Rule number 5A of 7. Now this one has 2 parts. Okay, so there's 5A and 5B. your main keyword for your product should have no less than 3,500 monthly search volume on Helium 10. Again, guys, by the way, Helium 10 is having a really, really big discount, so you can check down below this video. You can get, as you know, this video is going out right now, it's 80% off. So check it out. I don't know if they're going to change it later. They might, but check that out down below. It's they've never had a sale this big, so yeah. Anyways, that's not the point of this video. So 3,500 monthly search volumes on Helium 10. Again, I like Helium 10 because they are the most accurate ones for keywords and search volumes. So with this check, we're looking for viability, right? We want to know that when we launch our product to the market, there are enough searches coming into that keyword per month. So basically, you don't want to really put your main keyword. You want to put your target keyword, what you think a customer would type in on Amazon to find your exact product, right? So in this case, right, if we're selling a plastic spatula, I wouldn't type in spatula here because spatula is far too broad of a range. Like we already mentioned, there's, the metal ones, the plastic ones, there's the different types of plastic ones. So you need to make sure that, as you can see, the top products here, they're all basically the same thing. So you wouldn't want to use spatula in this. You'd want to use your target keyword, the one that really it encompasses your product fully. And in this case, it would be plastic spatula if we were selling this. So as you can see, you want to come into Helium 10, click on the magnet tool, type in your keyword, press get keywords, and you can see the search volume is 5,600 on this keyword, which means that we are good with this, and it would be it passes this test. All right. So that is Rule 5A. Rule 5B is your Helium 10 graph, and this is very similar to the Google Trends graph, but it is very different. So what we want to do is we want to look at the Helium 10 graph, and it should be stable for 3 out of the 4 quarters of the last year. So let me show an example. So we typed in plastic spatula, I found this product, and I changed it to the 1-year scale. Okay, you can see that right there. So as you can see here, the products over the time for the past year has been fairly stable. The only times is in November, it was a little bit of a peak, right? And then also in right after March, it was, a little bit crazy there too. But 3 quarters out of the year, it has been a fairly stable graph, which shows me that this has, proven demand for the long term. And so you gotta kind of look at it and make sure that 3 quarters of the year is good. If it's all over the place and it just got really good recently, that obviously could be a sign of, trendiness or fattiness or a seasonal, product. And with a lot of products, you might not have a year's time, but you want to find a product with the longest data that you can find, okay? And obviously, hopefully, you get a year at least. Rule 6 of 7, okay? Check supply and demand by using the old school 999 card trick. All right, and some of you guys may know this. This is very old school. This is from when I've been around, when I started, almost 3 years ago now. This was a trick that came out, and not a lot of people knew about it, but obviously, as time progresses, people know about this. But I know that a lot of people are starting off. You guys might not know about this. So, if you don't, I'm actually just curious to know if you knew about it or not. Let me know in the comments, because I think that the people who've been around for a while know this trick. So yeah, let's just go into it. So basically what you do is you find a product, you add it to your cart, right? And then you go to the quantity and you add the quantity you change the quantity to 10 plus, and then it's going to give you a little bit of like a open, space that you can actually input any number into. So you want to input 999. And then when you press update, right, it's going to say this seller only has 552 of these available. So we can't give you 999 because it only has 552. Now, what this means is that what we can do is we can come into this product every 24 hours and literally do the exact same trick. So let's say today we tried it as 552. 24 hours later, you come back and you do it again. You do the 999 trick, and you can see exactly how many units the product has sold, because it'll say, sorry, the seller only has 500 of these units available, which means that in the past 24 hours, this product sold 52 units. And so that way you can know exactly how much the product is making, and you can cross-reference that with the revenue that you saw in the first rule to make sure that whatever estimate that we're using is actually accurate. Now, a lot of products actually have caught on to this, and they add a max order quantity. So you won't be able to do this with everyone, but this is still something you absolutely must check, because there are sellers that don't do this, and there are top sellers that don't do this, which allows you to really have an unfair advantage in knowing exactly what the market is like. So definitely make sure to check this. If it doesn't work, that's fine. But yeah, it's definitely something awesome, and I'm really curious to know how many of you guys knew this or or how many of you guys are still new and didn't actually know about this yet. So let's move on, right? Come back every 24 hours and track, how much they're selling per day. Now let's go into rule 7A. Okay, there are two parts of this rule as well. What you want to do is you want to join groups like this. So Amazon free products or Amazon, like these, there's a ton of them. Just join them, type in promotional Amazon groups or anything like that. And what we want to do here is we want to actually check how many new products have launched in the past, month or so. And the reason we're checking this is because we want to know, is this product going to be saturated when we launch, right? Because if this product's going to be saturated, if there's going to be like 20, 30, 50 people, launching this product with you at the same time, it can be obviously a very, very big problem. So what we're going to do here is join these groups, because a lot of the times people come in here and they'll try to get promotions and sales and stuff like that. So let's say, for example, right, if your product is cream, right, just come into the group and type in cream, and then you'll be able to see all the different products that are launching that are cream products. And you can see how many of them are launching and when they launch, right? So February 6th, March 26th. Obviously, what you want to do is you want to look for, I would say, less than 5 launches in the past month or two, because that would show us that it would be saturated. So you don't want to go into a product like that. Another thing you can do is you can go into photos and you can just look at the photos and see what products are launching. That's a really good tool as well. And you can do this for both, for all the different groups. So look through all the different groups and make sure there are less than 5 that launched in the past month, because that would indicate that this product could be saturated. Another thing you want to do is go into promotional sites like jumpsend.com or rebatekey.com. There's a ton more out there that you can search up. Just type it on Google, like Amazon, promotional sale websites or whatever. And you come in here and you just type in things like, let's say we're talking about spatula, right? So you come in spatula and you can see all these products that are launching right now. So you come in here, click on that. So let's say view this product on Amazon. And what you're really doing here is you're trying to see when they launch and if they launched in the past month, right? So as you can see, this guy launched actually fairly recently on March 29th-ish. So this is one product. So you do not want to have more than 5 launching throughout the promotional sites and then also on Facebook. Again, that's going to be a bad sign. So you can do the same thing on Rebate Key. Just come in here, go to, see all rebates, and then just search up, spatula or whatever. And go through them and actually, open up the different products and see when they launch, see how many reviews they have and see how they're doing. So that is rule 7A. Now rule 7B. Now this one is definitely something that a lot of people won't know about, and something that even the $1,000 courses don't teach you. So what you want to do in here is you want to go to catalog, add a product, and they'll take you to this page. Now what you want to do is type in, let's say, spatula, right? Okay, look, because we were just talking about spatula. This is actually going to have a lot of different competitors because it's such a broad keyword, but for your products, it's probably going to be a lot less. So what you do, what this is going to do actually, it's going to show us all the different products that are showing up on Amazon or are selling on Amazon, that have the keyword spatula in them. So as you can see, we have, we're showing 1 out of 10 of 184,000 results, right? So that's obviously crazy, and you're not going to be able to look through 184,000 results. But I'll show you guys some tricks on how to find, how to find the new products in this space, the ones that are launching, recently. So as you can see, a lot of the times these sales ranks are really low, 2,000, 3,000, 193, right? So you know that these products are, selling a lot. What you want to do though is you want to go to like page, I'd say start off at like page 8, 9, 10-ish, right? And that's where the new launches, are probably going to be in your market. In spatulas, it might still be old launches just because it's such a big keyword. But the new launches might be around there. And what you want to do is you want to go through, between page 10 and page 30, I would say. I know this is, a long, big thing to do, but it's really going to show you how the market is looking like, going into the future. You're going to know that, people are creating a listing, right? Even if they're not selling it, you can find the listing that doesn't even have inventory on it yet, which is a huge deal, because you can know, okay, this person made this listing, and that means that he's probably going to launch fairly soon. And what you want to do is you want to count out how many there are. And I would say you want to find less than 10 of these in these search results. So go through between page 10 and I would say it's page 20 or page 30, and open up all the products that are the exact same product as yours. So let's assume we're selling, plastic spatulas. So this would not be a product that we're selling. This is not the same product. This is not the same product. So you're looking for direct competitors. So as you can see, there's not that many, but let's assume this is what we're selling, and you just go through them and you find all the different products that are direct competitors. Now, I'm not opening direct competitors. You guys already know what that means, but go through all the pages one by one and find them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come into them and you're going to look at when they launched and how they're doing here. All right, so you can see in the past 30 days it was still here. Past year it's been selling. It's been all over the place. So this would be not a great sign if we're looking to sell this product because it's been around for a long time and it's not selling well. Basically, this is the trick. And once you have all these tests involved, so you can see this has been selling for a long time, not selling well. So that's not a good sign either. But basically, those are all 7 rules that you need to follow to make sure that the product is actually going to be viable to launch. I know that a lot of these things, you may have known, but I think a lot of them you did not. So if you actually learned anything, remember guys, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow. And if you guys want to have notes from this video or, the checklist and things to follow along with, links below this video to check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.